are you guys? I hope you spend your day well and you're doing good. So today, back to the politics of Gachagua. Of course, we cannot walk away from it because there are so many lessons we have to learn from it. So in today's video, I'm showing something to do with the lessons we learned from this. And so we want also to see what are the views from Kenyans, there is a feeling that there are so many things that have been hidden under the carpet in the process of talking about Gachagua and the impeachment process. Some think it's a circus of, a process that is just sacrificing Gachagua so that things go on. Today I saw another clip showing that Ruto is doomed because he is just joined a team of those who are leading him to doom, that is Raila and the rest of it. Other people also feel that after impeachment, of course, nobody will feel safe in that office. So let's look at what happened. And remember yesterday, the Gen Z were already back to the streets. So what is the unraveling aspect? Now we begin with Asiga. I want you to remember what Asiga shared here. Even though she's on the opposition, she seemed to be sympathizing with Gachagua. What does this mean? So let's go deep into it and see what can come up.
I hope that the public understands that when they have their back to the wall, when they've been in any kind of battle, even when they feel isolated, there is something called golfer's elbow, which I learned. Golfer's elbow is the idea that, or is a condition that golfers usually have when they hold on to the grip of their club too tight for a long period of time, and they end up injuring their wrist all the way up to their elbow because they're holding on too tight to an outcome, too tightly. And I've learned that sometimes you just have to let that move away from hegemony, the idea of being dominated by one group or a person or a company or a state, because we are a democratic republic. And we need to move away from such ideology, such utterances, such behavior, Mr. Speaker. However, in the 11 counts, I have seen many that have no evidence, and I've seen some that do have some evidence. But I have not been particularly given confidence by the witness-in-chief, the mover of this motion, when I saw him up on the stand, Mr. Speaker. Although none of us can relate to what it's like to being a deputy president in this room for sure, we can definitely relate to the lessons that I've just mentioned. Mr. Speaker, make decisions today that will not betray you tomorrow. That's one. I also want to share that even though you're in a battle, whatever that might be, financial, personal, medical, whatever it is that you're going through at the moment, and you feel like your back is on the wall and everything, all the odds are against you, remember that it gets better. You do better. You will experience better. And we will become better, Mr. Speaker.
It's very important to get the views of other people, and we have people who have done a lot of analysis, political analysis. So here we have Munene, and actually in the studio, Citizen, sharing the information about what has actually come out after this impeachment. Now the realization that, as I said, there are lessons we are learning, and one thing we are learning is that the opposition is possibly going to grab Gachagua alongside others. You have seen today Linturi also joining Gachagua's team, and we have many more who are going to come on board. Maybe there are those who expected to become the next VP, but later on they felt betrayed when Professor Kindiki was picked. Yeah. So as we look at that, remember Asiga's message that we should not make decisions that betray us. That no matter what challenges we have to make decisions that will make us better. And nothing is permanent, of course. And of course, she talked about the golfer's elbow. And the very first aspect of learning some lessons from the leadership of VP, regardless of what challenges he had. Now, as you look forth to what Munene shares, realize why the opposition was there. And of course, Let's check that as we also see the video in which they were present at the hospital, Karen.
What's the most interesting thing is that during this short period of time when Deputy President Gachagua has been taken ill, the people talking most about him are the opposition, Kalonzo Musyoka, Wamalwa. They are looking for ways of forming an alliance outside of the Raila Ruto axis. And that's how we have got to read Kenyan politics. It's about elite-based interests. And it's not about to deliver public goods. It's about to deliver elite interest in the name of public interest. And the moment we recognize that these ethnic elites and these elites generally have nothing to offer publicly, it's about their interest. I think the moment we start holding them to account, the better for the country. Right. Unfortunately, we have not. We have very few national elites who are speaking the language of Kenya, but they always speak about themselves, and that.
A general feeling that the entire process of impeachment was diverting attention from main important issues, and one of the very important woman on the altar, one supporting the president, and even the wife went there when things were very critical and wept. And now you can see the turn of events. So let's watch that before we listen to what the other professor will share.
Because all the way till now, I have always been thinking that this government is a government of God.
Kwa maana wakati wote nilikuwa nafikiria serikali hii ni serikali ya Mungu.
Because it's the one we voted for.
Kwa maana ndio tulioichagua.
To our embarrassment.
Lakini kwa aibu yetu,
it's a government of fight.
Ni serikali ya vita.
The major historian will give you
the circus, because it is a circus, has done is to divert attention from serious problems in the country. The Adani thing, we're talking about Adani now, and the Ketrako, and all those things. People have been made to forget that. And even maybe you are giving a story about some abduction of some people in Kenya who are educators. These are educators. But they seem to have a conflict with the government in Turkey.
Yes.
And it's not the first time that the government in Turkey has reportedly abducted from people from Kenya. It's not the first time, if it has happened. So it's giving Kenya a very bad image of not able to protect people, citizens, or permitting external forces to come and do strange things. So, and it's happening at this time. It's a good cover. People are busy talking about Gachagua, not to notice about things.
Also another thing about the demand now that will be, that mwenzako akinyolewa kioo cha kwa maji, and the laws you make will always have to apply now to you. And of course, that is something that now our president has to be aware of, because from him to the rest of the governors and MPs and senators, anything is possible from now onwards. Impeachment may be the norm now. So let's see how Munene shares his views again.
People of the current generation of Gen Zs and everyone else, especially millennials, want a country that functions, want a country with services that matter and work for everyone, and it doesn't matter where you come from. They want a country that recognizes everyone for their skills, for the content of their character, and not on basis of their tribe. In fact, if you look at the young generation today, they use their first names. Whether you are a Karaoke or Njoroge, they prefer to say James. I
think we can now tie one and one to get to. Remember the Senator Kisii and what he shared earlier. Now, do you see any possibilities of similarities, and how actually is this? So let's listen to the previous video and proceed on.
I can tell you the truth, and if Gachagua spoke to me and William did, I would tell them what they're fighting about is about sharing of the loot. How government contracts, how government tenders, how the Adani group is sharing on their own, and the Gachagua is not involved. So he's saying, I don't know what.
Be a feeling among the Kikuyu people that they are being lumped into a certain group, because from what is being shared here, it seems that there is a feeling that people have lumped together a certain tribe to be of a specific, that is what we call stereotype. So let's listen to what he's sharing here and see how true is this comment, if you think that's true and if you have otherwise.
Gachagua is immature in his utterances and behavior. Should not be an excuse for lumping all people together for condemnation. The country is in trouble right now. And part of the problem, the reason it is in trouble, is because it appears as if we have emphasized in corruption and incompetence as the criteria. So things are not working, not because of this tribe or that tribe, just because at the policy making level, there is a lot of incompetence and diluted corruption.
Actually, you've heard what you've heard. I don't know what you think. Now, there are specific clips that have been trending, and some of them have very important lessons, or rather telling us something about what the citizens think, both before and after. Now, one of them is about Caroline Chepto. Then we have this famous guy who is speaking there and showing that the government is just playing politics. Eric Omondi recently also did another clip saying that serikali inacheza nini kipindi. Now we have other fellas, like there are two songs that came up, and these immediate songs indicated like let's forget about this, yeah, let's focus on major things. So we can actually see a mixture of this, and I want you to comment and see how true this is. And let's take them serious, because actually if leaders are watching, then they should see the essence of this. Songs are very important in communicating meaning, and sometimes when citizens share ideas, I don't know whether leaders listen to them. If they do, then they should consider what they say.
Wacha niwaambie watu wa ODM, mjifunze jinsi ya kuchukua serikali.
It seems Rigiji knew that the impeachment is on, and even though he's fighting in courts and all that, he knew. And I wonder whether it is true that CJ Kome was told to swear in Kindiki regardless of the court order. Oh, anyway, because we don't yet have evidence, let's talk about the fact that previously, the day Gachagua had a press release, he talked about the Adani and was asking the Senate and MPs to use the same energy they have used, you know. It was very amazing that people could spend up to 11, you know, in the night discussing impeachment. And so Kenyans were waiting now, what next? So let's look at this, and I don't know whether the same people are going to focus on these aspects. Yeah.
And I want to say, after this impeachment, I want the members of parliament now to focus on the corruption scandals around our country. The Adani scandal, the issues in public health sector, the glaring theft of public resources. That is what parliament should consider and take time. And that is what the people of Kenya want. And I really want to thank the media for being a very responsible watchdog on behalf of the people of Kenya. Please continue writing.
There is anti-leadership that lacks accountability. There is anti-leadership that is not responsible and responsive. That's what we have seen, and that's what Kenyans are asking for.
Impeaching Gachagua is not a solution to our problems as Kenyans. Yo, we want development, no more politics. We want development, no dirty politics. Woi, tunadai maendeleo, atudai mambo mengi. There is an impeachment, iwezi change inchi, corruption iishe, uchumi iwe fiti. MP na maseneta.
In this is anti-accountability, lack of accountability is anti-corruption. People are asking for better governance of the society.
Tulikuwa tunasema hii ni doa ya uongo hii. Na sasa naenda kutafuta yule hakuwa naye amsaidie. Nafikiri wa Kenya ni lazima sasa tuanze kuangalia na tuanguke na hii kitu hii.